This is my go-to makeup look when I want my skin to look like skin. I don't want to apply any kind of loose powder. I don't want to look cakey. I just want my skin to breathe. But I also want to look glowy and like I've had enough sleep. So let's get started. I'm starting off with my Shea Moisture Toner. This acts like a first level of primer because it leaves a tacky feel and it does help to shrink my pores. So I'm spraying that, and then I'm starting with concealer. I did forget my primer, so I'm going to be using the Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Gel Primer and applying that just to my nose and to the left and right of my nose. That's where my pores look the largest, and that's where I get the most oily. Once I remember to do that, I'm going in with my concealers. The concealers I'm going to be using is LA Pro Girl Conceal, and this is kind of a little hack because I hear that these concealers can also be used as a foundation. All of these concealers are great, but I'm not going to be using Fawn today because that's more like my highlighting shade. So I'm going to start with my beautiful bronze concealer. This color is pretty much my skin tone. I'm using that to correct all the dark pigments in my skin, like around my mouth, my mustache area, and a couple dark spots around my face. Once I'm finished with that, I'm going to start with my foundation. And this is the Covergirl Vitalast Healthy Elixir Foundation in the color 775 Soft Sable. This, hands down, is the most skin-like concealer from the drugstore that I've ever used. It looks a little bit warmer on camera, but I'm okay with that because I don't want to use too much concealer and I don't want to use too much powder. So this will kind of act like a little bit of bronze to my skin once I actually do have on my concealer. I like to use this brush because I think it applies it the best, and because it's so skin-like and it has such a natural finish, I want to get as much product as possible. Using a beauty blender or a typical flat top foundation brush is going to soak up a lot of the product and it's going to want me to cake on more, which ends up making it look a little bit more glam than I'm actually going for. So this brush works out best. Now I'm going back to the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm using the color Toffee to highlight. This shade is one step above my natural shade, so it helps to look very natural. And so I'm using that to highlight all the places that I usually do, under the eyes, forehead, chin, nose, and such. I'm continuing to use that flat top foundation brush, but if you do feel the need, like I did, I went ahead with my beauty blender after just to blend it out. I have always applied a little bit too much on camera, but usually I would have just stuck with that one brush because I would use a lot less product. Next up is probably my favorite drugstore powders of all time, and these are by L'Oreal. They're the True Match Super Blendable Powder, and I'm using the shade C6. I also have N7. I like to mix them together for under my eyes, but generally if I'm in a rush or I just want to save time, I'll just go in with C6 and I'll apply that under the eye. And it's super lightweight, and I think L'Oreal really did the colors very well on these powders. I did get the matching Covergirl True Blend powder to match the foundation, and I used the color 6. And I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just patting that into the rest of my face, especially around my nose area, because I know that's the first place that's going to get super oily. And this is I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match powder in C6 as my backup powder if I do get oily, because I do know that those are going to come through in a couple hours. I'm using my Covergirl Queen Collection bronzer, and I'm hitting the outer perimeter of my face. I like to stick to powder bronzer when I'm going for a natural look, because cream just tends to take everything up a little bit more. So sticking with powders is going to be your best bet. The highlighter that I'm going to be using is a different one. It's actually an eyeshadow. It's something I've had in my collection since I started doing makeup, so I probably should be throwing it away by now. The color is called Pure Gold. I figured why not. In the original picture, I did use this one, so that's where that glow is coming from. And the color is called Pure Gold, and I'm using that as a highlighter pretty much. I'm just using my fan brush and hitting all those higher points of my face. Going back to the eyes, I'm going to work on my mascara. Now, I'm going to work on my lashes now, and I'm using the Benefit Bare Brow Mascara, This is one of my favorite ones because it doesn't make you look, your eyelashes look very full. It just separates and lengthens, and it has that 4-point top, so it helps get those bottom lashes. My lashes, I do think they're long, they don't have a lot of curve to them, so this lash helps to separate them and define them. Last but not least, I'm going to be applying some gloss. I want my skin to glow. Any kind of liquid lipstick is a no for me on my natural days. I like to start with NYX's Buttergloss. I'm using the color Tiramisu in the center just because my lips are naturally pink there, but then I'm going to go with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb and applying that to the rest of my face. Now traditionally, I don't apply lip pencil, but it's up to you. Sometimes once I have the gloss on, I'll just grab a random brown highlighter, a random brown pencil lip liner, and I go over the gloss. I prefer to do it over the gloss because it looks a lot less defined. Still kind of trying to keep up with that natural look. I don't want anything looking crazy defined. I just want it all to be soft. One thing that I do like to do is curl my lashes after mascara. Please do this at your own risk because it can be really dangerous. You can easily take off your entire lashes, so just be mindful of that. But it's one of my favorite tricks when I'm not wearing lashes to make my lashes look even longer and fluffier and curvier. So that's pretty much it for my look. This is what I was wearing in that photo that I posted, and I wanted to recreate it for you guys. This is one of my lazier days where I do want to wear makeup, but I don't want to do too much. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in another one. Bye.